welcome back to the next episode of Tearing Through the Roof, the podcast where life gets messy, friendships get real, and when the door is blocked, we'll make our own way to Jesus. Let's go. Hey, running a little late getting this out of content with guests, so it's just me again. Not even really sure what I want to talk about. Just welcome. Hope everything finds you good. Just celebrated Easter. Hoping that you had a great resurrection day. And, as for us Christians, true believers, born again believers in the Lord Jesus Christ, every day is Resurrection Day for us. And so, happy Resurrection Day. He is alive. That's one thing that we talked about. Easter was you can show me or tell me any religion, and I can take you to the leader of that religion's tomb or find their bones or whatever. But what sets Christianity apart is that Jesus Christ is risen from the dead. He is no longer in the tomb. He is not there. You'll never find his bones. This old world will never be able to produce a body of Jesus because he is alive and well at the right hand of the Father, making intercession for each one of us, which, kind of makes you think. You think about it, Jesus is talking to the Father right now about you. You're always on his mind, always on his lips, talking to the Father. And he can talk about all of us at one time to the Father, but he is making intercession for us, and that is so great. And that kind of brings me to one of the scriptures I wanted to share. I've been thinking about relationships a lot here lately, about my relationship with God, and I have this reverence for him, and I have this I don't know if you'd call it a fear, but uh, uh, a respect for him. And as I talk to him and pray to him, and fellowship with him and have this relationship with him, I always have in my mind that he is God and I'm not, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I want that friendship with him. I want that relationship that's like a friend. And I got to think about that. There, I believe it was Abraham, and said he was a friend of God, and that's what I want said about me. I want it said that I was a friend of God. And there's a scripture. It's in John chapter 15, and it's just verses 14 and 15 is what I'll share with you. It says, "You are my friends if you do what I command you. I do not call you servants anymore, because a servant doesn't know what his master is doing. I have called you friends, because I have made known to you everything I have heard from the Father." And I think about that. I want that relationship. I want that friendship with God. I want to be considered a friend of God. And I got to thinking about my earthly friends and friendships that I have. And, you know, I have a lot of friends, a lot. I know a lot of people. And I guess, really, I have a lot of acquaintances, and I have friends. We call each other friends. We went to school together, or I know you from this place or that place. We went to church together. We talk. If we see each other, we talk. We're friendly, and we generally like each other. We're friends. But I have those friendships. I guess you would say those best friends or whatever. And I've got several of those in different areas. And I've got a friend. He's been on the podcast 4 times, I guess. Ronnie Dye. We've been friends since kindergarten. We were 5 years old when we became friends, and we've remained friends and maintained that friendship for 50 years, going on 51 years. And you know, we don't we text every day. There's a text group with us, and we text every day. And Brad Parrish, he was like fourth grade, I think. Him and Ronnie were in the same class, became friends, and then me and Brad became friends by default, I guess, because Ronnie was both our friends then. And we've been pretty much inseparable. There were some years that went by that we didn't hang out all the time, didn't talk all the time, but it was one of those friendships that just last. And then I've got others. Danny, he's been on on the podcast, a really good friend of mine, and I've got lots and lots of friends, and there would be different things that I would talk to each of them about. There's something happens in my life. There's usually somebody that pops in my mind. It's like, hey, they're a friend of mine. I want to tell them about this. I want to talk to them about what's going on. And those are the people that you have that relationship with, that friendship, and they know everything about you, and you know everything about them. And Brad and Ronnie and Danny, we can talk about anything. I can tell those guys anything that's on my mind, anything that's on my heart, and they can tell me the same thing. And we don't have to worry about the judgment of it. We just talk, and we want to know about each other. We want the other ones to know about us, and we talk to each other, and just share things in our life. And I got to thinking about that. Is that the kind of relationship that I have with Jesus? Can I talk to him about anything? Is there is there anything that I would feel ashamed to talk to him about, that I couldn't bring up, or I couldn't begin to talk to him about? And you know, it, and I guess I can talk to him about everything. And I usually do, even sins that that I get convicted of, and I begin to pray about it and talk to him about it. But I come to him with that shamefulness, and that expecting to be judged, that expecting to get in trouble, or that he's disappointed in me and he's not happy with me, and and I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm rambling, but I want that relationship with him, that I can talk to him anytime about anything. And when something happens in my life, even though he already knows all about it, he should be the first one that I go to, the first one that I begin to talk to about what's going on. And sometimes, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I guess with my relationship with God and Jesus, and I come to them with the bad things, or I come to them with my needs and my wants. And when something's not going right, or I think I need help with something, I call them, or call him and talk to him about it. And I guess I do that with my earthly friends as well. When I need something, or I need some prayer, or there's something concerning me, I can share that with these guys, and they they can give me advice, they can pray with me about it, they can talk to me about it, they can give me their opinion, and all that's well. But I guess if something good happens in my life, if something exciting's happened, and I want to share it with someone, I call my friends and tell them, hey, guess what happened? This is going on. My kids did this, or my grandkids did that, or I did this, or I saw this, or this is what happened. I won this, or I found this, or this just worked out really. And I share all the good things with them. But do I talk to Jesus about the good things in my life? Do I just say, hey, Jesus, guess what happened? This just happened. I'm so excited. I want to tell you about it. I want to share things. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, I only want to go to him for my needs. I only want to go to him for the things that he can do for me. And I don't want to share my life with him, or I tend not to think about him when I want to share something. And I've got to change that. I've got to get to where I share everything with him, good and bad. That's a friendship. That is the kind of friend that I want. I want it to be said about me when I'm long gone. Yeah, he was a good person. He preached. He was a good friend. He did. But the thing that I want that to be known and to be said about me is that he was a friend of God, and I want it to be evident in my life that Jesus is my friend, and I can talk to him about anything, not just my wants, not just my needs, not just get me out of trouble, not just forgive me of this, but to share with him the good things in my life, and just have a conversation with him, just like I would to pick up a phone, or drop by and see a friend, just to share with them. And that's the kind of friendship that I want, and the the kind of the kind of friendship that's always there for me in the good times and the bad. And I don't know. Maybe I just rambled. Maybe this is not maybe one of the weakest podcasts that I've done, but this is what we're getting today. And I just had that on my mind and my heart about my relationship with Jesus. Uh, you know, it says in the Bible, when we stand before Him, He's going to separate us from the sheep and the goats, and He's going to say to one side, enter in, and He's going to say to the other, depart from me, for I never knew you. And I don't want Him to only know me for my wants and needs. I want Him to know me for what makes me happy, what excites me, what the good things in my life, and I need to be telling Him that. I need to be talking to Him and sharing my life with Him. So when I stand before Him, He knows me. That I never hear depart, for I never knew you. Uh, I want to be in His ear. I want to be His friend. I want to be talking to Him. I want to be sharing with Him. I want to be everything that I need to be with Him, for Him, and because He is everything for me and with me that I need. And so I don't know. So maybe that helps you. I don't know. I'm, I'm still struggling with it and working through it, and just hope maybe I get it right someday. That I really feel like Jesus and I are the best of friends, and that I can share with Him the good and the bad. So I guess that's kind of my soapbox today. I guess whatever I want to say, but I did want to tell you a story of how God works and His plan for our life and how He looks out for us in every situation, even when we don't see it and even when we complain. It came up on my Facebook memories yesterday. 4 years ago, my wife Amanda had started having some stomach pain and some uh, almost unbearable, just extreme pain in the stomach, and we went to the emergency room, and they began to do tests and begin to look and did I guess a CT scan or a ultrasound or something. I don't know what they call it, but they did something, and they said that she had gallstones and that she needed to have her gallbladder removed. And they did some more tests and this that, and they discovered that the gallstones were blocking the bile ducts. Um, they were lodged in the bile ducts, and not exactly sure what all that entailed. I just know it was painful, and that this was some issues that they needed to take care of. So we were at NEA Baptist, and they came in and told us that she was going to need surgery, but NEA at the time did not have a gastrointestinal specialist. They didn't have a surgeon that could do that. So they were going to have to transfer us. So they went and made some phone calls, and they came back, and they told us that St. Bernard was full, that they didn't have any beds, and they weren't accepting transfers from any hospital because they were full. They did have a gastrointestinal surgeon, but they didn't have any beds, and we couldn't go there. So they asked us what our next step was, Little Rock or Memphis, and we're like, well, Memphis is closer. Let's see. So they go out and they make some phone calls, and they come back and they tell us Memphis has some beds, Memphis has a gastrointestinal surgeon, but they at the moment are not accepting out of state transfers. So Memphis was out. So they go back and they make some more calls, and they come back, and I believe it was St. Vincent Hospital. I think that was the name of it. St. something. I think it was St. Vincent. Um, they had a bed, they had a surgeon, and we were going to be transferred to there. It wasn't that they were going to transfer by ambulance and all this. So we have to make some arrangements and get the kids taken care of. And Jace had been kind of sick to his stomach, vomiting, and he had a virus and stuff. And so we made some phone calls and got this, that, and the other thing going. And Went and got some clothes, and anyway was headed to Little Rock, and I couldn't understand the timing of all this. I had, for some strange reason, decided that I wanted to run for a public office, and so I was in the middle of this campaign, and I had a scheduled interview with one of the local radio stations. It was going to be a video interview, and we had all this scheduled, and uh, so here we are. Um, we we go to the hospital where you think you're going to get the care that you need. We get to the hospital and they can't care for her. They can't do anything for her. They can't. Uh, they don't have anybody there that can do the surgery. Why, God? Why? Well, let's go across town. Well, they call the other hospital. I mean, fortunate enough to live in a city with two major hospitals. We call the other hospital. We'll just go over there. We'll get everything taken care of. We don't have any room. We can't take you. We do have a guy here or a girl here. We have a doctor. I don't know if it was a guy or girl anyway. But we have a doctor here that can do the surgery, but we don't have room for you. We can't take you. Why, God? Why do we have two hospitals in this town and we can't see either one of them? Why? We're going to Memphis. We're going to go to Memphis. We're going to drive an hour. We're going to get over there and get everything taken care of. You can't go to Memphis. They're not accepting out-of-state patients at the time for some strange reason. Can't do it. Why, God? Why can we not go to Memphis? We got two hospitals in our town. We got one that's an hour away, and we can't go to any one of the three. None of the three can help us. Oh, but you can go to Little Rock, 2.5 hours away. You can go there. They'll take care of you. Why, God? Why are we having to do all this? Why are we having to move the kids around, get them all situated, get somebody to watch them, get someone to take care of them, so I can take my wife to Little Rock, 2.5 hours away, to a hospital to have surgery, when we live in a town with two hospitals and have several hospitals right, an hour away. We're going to go 2.5 hours. So we get there. Still, why, God? Why is all this happening in the middle of this campaign? Why is this happening when I'm supposed to have an interview? Why is all of this happening? Why, God? Why, God? Why, God? Well, the surgeon comes in, and I forget his name. I tell somebody today, I don't even remember what I had for breakfast this morning, and some days I eat lunch twice because I can't remember that I already had it once. That's a joke. But anyway, I can't remember the doctor's name. But he comes in and begins to talk to us, and he's looking at all the tests. They run some more tests. Sure enough, she's got gallstones. Her gallbladder needs to come out. The gallstones are blocking the bile ducts, and it's causing extreme pain, and this is an emergency. This is something that needs to happen fairly quickly, because without the bile getting out, backing up, I can't remember all the process and the problems, but it was major. It was kind of an emergency thing. And so the doctor said, we're going to do it first thing in the morning. We're going to get some sleep. It was late when we got there. So we're going to do it in the morning. He said, you're in the right place. He said, those stones are in the bile ducts and the gallbladder needs to come out. And he said, I am the only surgeon in the state that will do both of the surgeries at the same time. He said, anywhere else you would be looking at two surgeries. They would go in, they would remove the stones, clean out the bile ducts, and send you home. And then in 2 weeks or a month or something like that, you'd have to come back in, and they would perform the gallbladderectomy. I don't know what you call it. They're going to get rid of the gallbladder at the time. And so she would have had to been operated on twice if we would have been at NEA. She would have been operated on twice if they would have sent us to St. Bernard. She would have been operated on twice if they would have sent us to Memphis. But all those doors were blocked. All those doors were slammed shut in our face. And the only door that was open was the door that God knew we needed to go through, because this doctor, the only one in the state who is able to take out her gallbladder and remove the stones from the bile ducts, clean them out all in one surgery, to where she was only going to be operated on once. What a God we serve. here I felt about this tall. Here I am, griping and complaining because we're getting moved everywhere and no one seems to be able to help us. And door is slammed, next door slammed, next door slammed. Then we get one that just doesn't make any sense. Don't understand why we got to go all the way to Little Rock to get this done. And lo and behold, God knew that the doctor that we needed because of just having one surgery was at Little Rock at St. Vincent, I believe it was. And we got everything taken care of. She had surgery the next morning, which was 4 years ago today. And, we were having to worry about Jace. While she was in surgery, I called the radio station that was going to be doing the interview. I talked to the nurses. They told me I could stay in the room while she was gone, and we did the interview. Everything worked out. God just did above and beyond, exceedingly abundantly more than I could think or imagine or even hoped for. He just took care of everything in one full swoop and shut three doors that I wanted to jump through and stand in, put my foot in, and he shut them. But he opened up that door that we needed, the door to the hospital in Little Rock where one surgery took care of everything. And I just couldn't do anything but just praise him and thank him for what he was doing and how he done it, even when I don't understand. So I guess what I'm saying is, when it looks like God is shutting doors and we don't understand, keep trusting in him. And I posted that on Facebook 4 years ago as a testimony of what God can do, and what he does do. And someone posted on there a psalm in the book of Psalms. I can't remember, but it says, lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. And I just kept trusting him that it was going to work out, and that he knew what he was doing, even though I didn't understand, and I questioned him. And just, why God, why God, why God? And then he says, if you'll just hang on, if you'll just be quiet a little bit and just follow where I'm sending you, you will understand why. And I learned a good lesson through all that, and just to trust him and follow him and know that he's got a great plan. And it probably lasted all of about 6 months until I was right back in the same situation again with something else, not trusting him and not understanding and why. And even today, I still don't. I still don't fully trust him, I don't guess, because I say, why God, a lot. I say, you've got to be kidding me. Why God? Why is this happening? And it usually always works out. Well, it always works out, not usually. It always works out, and it's always for the best. And God is always doing the right thing, always doing the best thing for me. And even though I question it and ask why, he always just continues to provide for me and take care of me and put me in the position that I need to be in for his will to work out in my life the best possible way. And so I thank you again, Lord, for what you did, for shutting three doors at three hospitals and allowing us to get where we needed to be. And so anyway, I guess I'm going to end with that. Just in all of your ways acknowledge him. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. So just hang in there, make God your friend, be his friend, talk to him, share the good things in your life, even when you go to him and ask for needs and get you out of trouble and forgive you and all this kind of stuff. But share the good things with him. Make it a friendship. He wants to be a friend with you. He said it in his words. That was Jesus speaking in John 15. I don't call you servants. I call you friends, because I've let you know everything that I want you to do. I mean, all my Father's told me, I've told you. And so hang in there. Look forward to next week. Hopefully I'll have some guests. I've got some lined up. Just things haven't worked out to where I could get them recorded, and we're gonna get those back going. But anyway, sometimes it's just good for me to get on here and speak what's on my heart, and I just hope it blessed you. If you need help, if you need someone to talk to, you need to someone to pray for you. If you don't have that friendship with Jesus and you need to be introduced to Him, I can't save you, but I can sure introduce you to the one that can. And so I just ask that you continue to pray for tearing through the roof. Continue to pray for me, and we will. We will make it through this. Happy Easter, happy Resurrection Day. As I said at the beginning, every day is Resurrection Day. So, all right, I'm going to sign off here. There'll be a email address that comes up if you want to email Tearing Through the Roof podcast. I'll get back with you and call you or something, and we will. I'll talk to you. Get somebody in touch with you that can help you if I can't, but God can do it all. There's nothing He can do, and sometimes He slams doors in our faces because He's got a better door for us. So with that, I will end this week's podcast, this episode of Tearing Through the Roof, the podcast where life gets messy, friendships get real, and when the door is blocked, we make our own way to Jesus. Let's go.